May not be fair. Maybe it's been a minute. I've seen a dude carry a roster. I'll go back to LeBron with the Matthew Dellavedova Cavaliers. Carry a dude this deep, carry a team this deep into the playoffs, where it's that dude and other guys. You know, Strus gets hot, Bam's good, but holy freaking wow! What Miami's doing. I told you yesterday on the way out. We made our picks. Who do you like? I picked Miami, but we didn't get into why. We're going to get there. 123-116. Heat over the Celtics in Boston, overcoming a double-digit deficit to come back and overwhelm the Celtics. A 46-point third quarter, and it's 1-0 Miami in the East. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. A little cloudy, a little chilly, a little weird outside. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Gato Roberto is in for A. Marie today. Welcome to the day.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
What's happening?
Not much.
How you living?
Living good.
Yeah. What'd you see last night?
Well, I saw something that should have bought into the trend, and that's Miami Heat winning Game 1 on the road in 3 straight playoff series. The efficiency of Jimmy Butler off the charts, and just something with the Boston Celtics we've seen often this postseason. Just not playing hard in a quarter. And it was that third quarter. 46-point third quarter. The Miami Heat, they turn a 9-point deficit into a lead. And for Boston, they've been there, done that. For the Heat, it's what they do. And it's been the story of the postseason for both these teams.
So I'm going to be careful when I say, without going to say they don't play hard. I don't know if they played hard or not. I know they didn't play well. And they have lapses. And so we didn't get into why I picked the Heat yesterday, right? We literally did on the way out the door, right? Who you got, and you went Celtics, I went Heat. Now, I'm not saying that to brag. I mean, I'm saying that to why. One was the trend, and it really, JJ, to me, it is the mindset. Miami has proven in these series, and I think that's why they keep coming out. They come out smoking in Game 1. To me, they're tougher than any team left. Now, that doesn't mean anybody's soft. I'm not, right? I mean, if you like LeBron, that doesn't mean you think Michael's bad, right? I'm not telling you anybody's not good. There's whatever the it is, and I keep going back to the it factor with Miami. There's a junkyard dog in Miami, and there's no way their roster is better than Boston, is there?
It's not.
And I don't know that I even think they're going to win the series. I still think it's going to be a long series, and I think it's Boston. And I think finally the fairy tale runs out for Miami, although I'm not going to be stunned if Miami wins this, right? But an 8 seed that is up 1-0 in the conference finals, that's 3 wins away from going to the NBA championship. Like, there's a real chance we have a 7 and an 8 seed in the NBA finals this year, right? There's a real chance of that. But there's whatever it is, and at some point, and I know I've talked about it and we've talked about it, Eric Spoelstra's going to get his due. Jimmy Butler's getting his. But look down that roster. Look the way they played defense. Look if they had 12 steals. 12 steals. They turned the ball over 12 times to Miami's 15 turnovers. Look at the way they rebound. Look at the way they play, and then they find a dude, whether it's Strus or Vincent. 7 undrafted free agents on this team. JJ, I think there's something about being hungry, about being tough, about being challenged, about being overlooked. And to me, this franchise, not even just this particular team, but this franchise over the last bunch of years has been the epitome of that.
And it's wild because they've been in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
They were the other team in the bubble.
Yeah.
That was playing in the NBA Finals when the Lakers won their championship. The chip on the shoulder thing, the mindset, it's real for the Heat because it's not just one guy you're looking at. It's multiple guys that are buying in. It's veteran players and the mindset from top to bottom. They play hard constantly. And when you have a team questioning not playing hard, that's what the Celtics were, the physicality, needing to have a better mindset. We've never said that about the Heat. And that is what is so fascinating about this team. That is why anytime they pop up on your schedule in the playoffs, you're like, oh, this is who we got because of what they've been able to do the last few years with this roster, with Jimmy Butler. And I'm like, this is going to be a long series because the Boston Celtics been here, done that. They've responded in these situations. We've talked so many times about the Celtics coasting in a quarter or a half and getting outworked and falling on their backsides. They're going to respond, but there's just something special about that it factor for the Heat.
Yeah, and so you bought into it, right? I mean, I think you bought into it from the beginning, but are you even more sold now?
No.
You're not more sold on the Heat. So you were totally like there, like,
Well, the way the Heat played
yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
okay, yeah, but I mean,
Like, this is who they've been since 2020.
no, I look, they're special. There's something, whatever that means. They're special, and again, I'm not going to tell you this series is over after one game. No, it's like watching the Nuggets and the Lakers the other night. Like, we sat here yesterday, and most of the love that you gave was to the team that was down 1-0, right? So I'm not going to call a series, especially this one, after one game. But I'm just going to tell you there's something about that damn team and that place. And let me throw something way bigger picture at you, okay? Eric Spoelstra, and I've asked you this a number of times, where is he amongst coaches and elite coaches? Is he a Hall of Fame coach? He's 53 years old. He's been there a long time. Does he have to win another one without LeBron James to be a Hall of Fame coach, or what he's done over the duration of his body of work? And Lord knows how long he's going to do it and how many more franchises he'll be with, or maybe he'll be there for another 20 years. I don't know. But is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
I think I believe that too. Right? Just because of what he's done with different carnations of a roster, right?
Career 589 winning percentage in Miami. He's been the head coach since 2008.
And there's no reason to think it's going to end anytime soon. All right, thoughts on what they did. Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals, and so many of them coming in crunch town. Bam Adebayo, 20 and 8 in the Heat's victory. The other side of this is where you got to look a little bit at the coaching staff of Boston. And I understand that he's a young coach, and I understand, but you know how basketball coaches, college basketball coaches tell you all the time, like when you hit January, February, they're not freshmen anymore, right? They played a whole year. Granted, it's his first conference finals as a head coach, but Joe Mazzulla has got to find a way, and I know that he doesn't have the ball, and Van Gundy and those guys were making such that was the broadcast I was watching. Was it ESPN or was it Turner? Who was I watching? Who was
TNT.
It was TNT, those guys. Okay, it was Stan Van Gundy and Reggie. Get the ball to Jason Tatum. Like, with all due respect, and this is where I struggle. Is it the coach's job to call out a timeout and say, give the ball to the damn superstar? Or can you call a play and everybody should know? But they were not wrong, dude. The ball wasn't in Jason Tatum's hand, and then when it was, he turned it over.
I think that you got to understand with Joe Mazzulla that there might be a little more ups and downs with him, but he has responded. And he has answered those questions throughout the postseason of people thinking he can't do it. Are they going to make a change in the offseason? They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, going against one of the longest tenured coaches in the NBA. And just like Eric Spoelstra made it through in the young years, I think this is what you're going to see with Joe Mazzulla is you got to back him up. Is he going to make some mistakes? Yes. Because coaching absolutely does matter in these series. But it's one that for the Celtics, you just figure out how to respond because this trend, it's a trend
It is
in the
now.
playoffs
Yeah,
for them.
it is now.
That they're going to have to figure out a way to battle through it to take that next step.
Well, so when you say they didn't get the ball to Tatum, and we're on the same page, and then when they did, where was he and what did he do? Okay, but whose fault is that? And fault, I hate that word, but I mean, who do you put that on? Is it on Tatum? Go get the ball. Is it on?
No,
Is it on Marcus Smart not getting the ball there? Is it on Jaylen Brown not
Yes.
getting him the ball? Is it on Joe Mazzulla not calling to get the ball? Jimmy Butler had the ball every time, right? James had the ball in his hands. Jokic touched the ball. Jamal Murray has the ball. Like Kevin Durant has the ball. As good as Marcus Smart and the rest of these guys might be, they're not Jason freaking Tatum.
Yeah, you still try to play team basketball. And that's if Tatum isn't touching it every single time, it depends on how you're playing. But when the game is going a certain way in the third quarter, you want your star player to settle things down. And this is being in the moment when things aren't going your way. It's easy to say, like, of course these players should know what they're doing, but momentum is a real thing. We've all watched sports. We've all been somewhere. When you start missing a couple shots, you have a couple bad defensive rotations, it starts rolling downhill. And there's a reason teams have timeouts. There's a reason there's a coach there. There's a reason there's players to have that communication. And sometimes you can see that blow up, and that was the third quarter for the Celtics.
Yeah, it was. All right, we're here for you on the hoops, and I got a lot more. Boys, the Lakers and Nuggets go tonight. We're going to get into that. You might be surprised that one of the candidates the Milwaukee Bucks have interviewed. There's player news in the NBA, so we'll go there. PGA is underway. We'll get you the latest on that. There's a frost delay in Rochester that just lifted, so I'm going to get you up to date coming back on that. So leaderboard and PGA, we're going to get you some golf and a great day for Lobo Golf. How about a great season for both the men and women? What it means, what's next? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into
PGA Championship finally underway. It is chilly. Like if you're one of those like kind of like me, I don't need to play golf when it's cold. What's your like? Is there a limit for you? Because they're at my number. Like it's 45 and sunny, so I'll go out and do that, and it's going to get warmer. But is there a limit? Like winter golf, where do you not go out? And wind's a big factor.
Yeah, that's usually my main thing.
Yeah.
I'm already hitting it all over the place. Last thing I need is those Albuquerque 40-mile-per-hour gusts.
Yeah, and when it's
good.
45 degrees and it's brutal. I like I'm not real good at being miserable, and I have no desire to go out and be miserable and do it to myself. And when it's whipping wind and cold and just you can't feel the golf, it's just not that fun. I play with these guys, a group of guys on Sundays, and we started playing January. It was really kind of, you were getting some nice Sundays, and then there was one in February. It was one of those, right, hailing, cold. It's just going to be miserable. And I'm like, yeah, I'm out. They're like, yeah, you're soft. I'm like, yep, I'm soft. Like I'm good. And they sent a picture on 13 where they're in parkas and hats, the wind's whipping, dude's up there in like 3 layers, and he could take like a half a swing because right, it's so cold. And I'm like, okay, good. Everybody wins, man. Like you guys are out there miserable hitting a golf ball in hail and snow, and I'm on my couch. Like
men. We
all win.
We're men.
Right? Don't you think everybody wins in that situation? You guys are out freezing your bags off, and I'm on my couch. Everybody wins. It was cold this morning in Rochester, New York. That's where Oak Hill Country Club is. That's where they're playing the PGA Championship, a $15 million purse. Justin Thomas is your defending champion at the PGA Championship. This is the second of golf's majors. They're just getting groups out. They got about, looks like about 3, 4, 5 groups out. And so just getting going. I'll keep you up to date on leaderboards. You're going to have some of the names go out here a little bit. Gary Woodland, Brooks Koepka, Scotty Scheffler all go out at 7:50 our time. Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and Justin Thomas at 8:01 our time. Victor Hovland, Shane Lowry, Jordan Spieth at 8:12. Cam Smith, John Rahm, and Matt Fitzpatrick. That's a group right there, huh? 8:23 our time. Matt Fitzpatrick, Cam Smith, and John Rahm. That's a group to watch. And then, Rory and Justin. And who did I tell you Brooks is playing with? Gary Woodland and Scotty Scheffler, another great group. So I'll keep you up to date. I've got it up, and I'm watching that. How about Lobo men's golf yesterday? So they put up basically a school record number, and they shot 17 under in the third round and finished in 4th place at the South Carolina Regional, 42 under par. And both the Lobo men and women are on their way to the NCAA championships. Glenn Milliken's going to be with us tomorrow. He's the Lobo men's coach. They're on literally, JJ, like it's a 3-hour flight, and it's this 3 hours. I'm like, really? You didn't consult me before booking your flight? But they're going to Greyhawk, and it's a field of 30. This is a big deal for them. And I know we say this, and it's almost annually we're watching these golf teams. That's why it's a big deal. Like watching them do what they're doing is pretty special.
Well, it's a big deal because Olympic performance is still very important for an athletic department. They're selling tickets for football and basketball, but what the other student athletes and other coaches are doing are fantastic stories if you're a sportsman. That's why it's important. That's why it should matter to everyone, even if you're not going out there, you're not buying your season tickets to golf. Like, it's the understanding of there's still a faction of college athletes that are living the way so many people want them to live. And that is, they're struggling and they're grinding for everything. And that is Olympic sports.
By the way, I'll
athletes.
tell you the majority of them are doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you should be happy that these partial scholarship teams grinding for everything, where the travel budget is, that's the way it should be, deal with it, are having success.
The 42 under school record for the lowest 54-hole total in Lobo men's golf history. The lowest was 35, and they said it 2 weeks ago at the Mountain West Championship when they lost San Diego State by 25. San Diego State missed out on going to the NCAA Championship by 1 stroke. There was a two-way tie. It was Clemson and I forget who the other one was, but San Diego State was 1 stroke back, so they did not get in. 4 of the 8 lowest 54-hole totals of program history have come this season. So Glenn's got a team that's playing really, really well. Matthew Watkins was 7 under 65, the lowest round of his collegiate career. Brandon Strong, a final round 67. Albert Bonetta, 68. I mean, I don't know what golf course they're playing. Obviously, it was ripe for scoring, but they played really, really well. So we'll talk with Glenn tomorrow, probably in the 8 o'clock hour, and then Nick Neal will be with us in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll be able to talk to them both about what's going on at the PGA Championships. But I'll get you scores as they start posting. Everything's, everybody, you got your leaders right now at even par, and that's where we are as we're just getting started at Oak Hill. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in, 888-922-0610. If for whatever reason, Bob, they still pay a toll, Gato Roberto will pick it up for you, and he'll pick up the toll. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Hello, Lenny. How you living? You're on the Sports Animal.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? So let's talk, since you're on golf, with Live Golf. Their ratings are horrendous. I don't know if you've seen any of their broadcasts on CW.
It's hard to see it because they're not available on my DirecTV. So there's
last week, because of a 2-hour rain delay.
Yeah, they didn't join them back. They left them and didn't join back.
Because CW has an agreement with the local affiliates to take over after a certain hour.
Yep. So you never saw the end of the tournament. Yep.
So I don't know how Live is going to be survive with no TV beyond 2 years more. Paying the money that they're paying. I understand the Saudis have ridiculous money to throw out there, but at a certain point, it's still a business.
Yep. I asked that the other day. Are they going to get bored with this? How long are the Saudis going to want to keep losing money? Yes.
And, well, I think the Saudis are going to have to, they can afford to take $1 billion loss on the fund and walk away.
Yeah, but do they want it? How long are they going to want to do this? I agree with that.
I only think 2 more years, because one, CW is a terrible network.
Well,
it's not on in every city.
But it's a 1 year deal. So if the product is good, somebody else can pick it up.
Yeah, but it's a 1 year deal, but it's a buy sell, basically, or they're splitting the cost. That's why actually they're splitting the advertising revenue, but CW is not paying any of the production costs like any other sporting contract entails.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
So they have nothing out of pocket. So now let's go to basketball. And if you have to pick players to be on your playoff team, you have to have Jimmy Butler in the top 5 all time.
It's going to be inarguable, yes.
But what I don't understand about last night's game, Tatum is a ball handler. How does he only shoot 4 shots in the second half?
That's what we just asked. How do you not get him the ball? Who do you blame that on? Do you blame it on the coach? Or blame it on the players not getting him the ball?
I blame it on the coach because in the third quarter, how do you not take a timeout?
When you're giving up 46 points.
You're getting run. For one thing, they were only up by 9 at halftime. They were taking it to the Heat. They should have been up by 20 or 25.
I agree.
I mean, sometimes you look at this coach, like in last series, people were calling for his head when he was down 3-2 if he lost the series. But then you see it now, and he's doing the same thing. They gave the Heat a 3% chance to win this series, and he's doing it, but it comes down to who's a better coach.
Yeah, but that was
Spoelstra is doing more with less.
Which he always does, man. And that's kind of where he is. That's always
so
where he is.
it'd be interesting. And if the Lakers lose, I can't see them coming back down 2-0 to Denver because right now Jokic is playing probably one of the statistically best playoffs of any player.
You calling this a must-win today?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I just can't see them coming back and winning 4 of the next 5 if they lose tonight.
All right. Enjoy it tonight. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Lenny.
But they got to keep Hachimura on Jokic, and that might be able to cut him down.
It'll slow him down, certainly. Thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
He kind of got a win game for the Lakers tonight?
Kind of got a win game for the Lakers tonight. I don't feel that.
No? So if the Nuggets win, you still don't feel strong about where they are. Let's see what it looks like, right? I don't know that I think it's as vital as Lenny thinks it is either. I almost feel like it's kind of got a win game for the Nuggets.
Yeah, it's just such a fascinating reaction. The Nuggets fans they're losing their minds. They're like, how can the Nuggets score 132 points and everyone feel like they're the team in trouble? And I understand that from a fan's perspective. You're sitting there going, how can everyone be talking about the Lakers in a good spot, the Lakers with less questions to answer? And it's like, it's just look at the game and how it played out in the second half and what we've seen from both these teams. It's not a crazy scenario, but I get from a fan's perspective how Nuggets fans could be like, really? Here we are again, number 1 seed, big win in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and everyone talking about the Lakers.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, I haven't mentioned this to you. This could be the best chance for Albuquerque to get a big league, major league franchise, but we're not prepared. And it's if we would have prepared over the last bunch of years, this could have been, and maybe it still could be, if we could, but we can't get our bleep together. Why we're missing the boat? Why right now? Why we should have been proactive, and why right now would be the time for Albuquerque to jump into the big leagues? How could that still happen? Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Whatever comes your way. People say, oh, you're lucky. No, you're probably prepared to get lucky. You probably thought ahead, prepared to be lucky. So how did the Oklahoma City Thunder become the Oklahoma City Thunder? Do y'all recall how Oklahoma City got a team? It was after Katrina when the New Orleans, I believe them were called the Bobcats, right? Or were they
They were the Hornets.
New Orleans Hornets. Yep. They were the New Orleans Hornets. Now they're the Pelicans. That's when Charlotte was the Bobcats. Were displaced after Katrina. And Oklahoma City had an arena. And they said, well, come play here while you're displaced. And they supported them incredibly well. Then when Seattle had issues with their arena up there and the city didn't vote to get them a new one, the owners dipped and moved them to Oklahoma City, said, we got great fan support. And they've had great fan support in Oklahoma City ever since. Oklahoma City is not a bigger population base. Now, there may be more corporation there, but not a bigger population than what we have. You looked at seeing what the National Hockey League has done to Nashville, Raleigh, some really interesting places. And now here you are in a situation, and this is where I'm going with this, Jay. I think you know where I'm going with this, where if we'd be prepared, maybe we could be in a situation right now where we could at least be in the conversation to become a National Hockey League city. Now, you're saying, Jeff, nobody cares about hockey here. I think if it was the National Hockey League, like how many people give a damn about hockey in Las Vegas before the Las Vegas Golden Knights got there? I mean, honestly, you have a lot of transplants in Vegas, but have you seen what hockey has done, the National Hockey League has done to Vegas? You've seen what they've done in Vegas? And I sit here and I like, it's not my fault, I don't think, but I'm kicking ourselves for not having an arena. And I've been here, July will be 27 years I've been in this town. And for 27 years and well past that, there's been conversation about how this town needs an arena. And you've heard the story about this whole Gladiators field. And you know why that's a story? Because they were playing in that old arena at Tingley Coliseum, this antiquated barn that was built in the 40s or 50s. And they had nowhere to go, so they went to that small arena out in Rio Rancho. Now, that's not a National Hockey League size arena. But JJ, guys, if we would have had an 18 to 22,000 seat arena, I think we need that and you know where I am. I mean, I'm not telling you we shouldn't get a soccer stadium. I just think we need an arena more than a soccer stadium. And I'm not anti-soccer stadium. But, JJ, what if we had an arena? Because right now the Arizona Coyotes don't know where they're going to play, and I think they're going to move. They are out of Glendale. They're playing in a 5,000-seat arena at Arizona State. The city of Tempe yesterday voted down the ballot measure that would build them a whole new district down there, and it was $2.1 million entertainment district. And now it looks like they're going to move, whether it's Kansas City or Quebec or wherever, Houston, Salt Lake City. Wouldn't it be cool to be in that conversation?
It would be cool. But the question is, who do you trust to lead the charge on that conversation? It's sure not city officials right now for a lot of
We're
people.
not going to be in that conversation.
Is it something that happens at the state level, but then everyone's going to be all upset? Why are you focusing on Albuquerque? And why is it only Albuquerque that would be getting...
I'll tell you this. If Albuquerque we could get a National Hockey League team, and that's why. What that would do for the entire state.
It's an arena is a good idea for so many more things than just the potential of a professional team, what it can bring through the value 365 days a year. Because if all those people that scream, where are the events? That's the place that events could be constantly across the board. It's just, who's going to buy into that? And then at what level is that funding going to be acceptable? Because what we're seeing, in Tempe, and there is not a love for hockey, and those people are like, no, we don't want our money going to this. We've said that so many times, and that's why that was voted down. It's a good idea in theory, have an arena for events, for so many different things. But who would lead that charge?
No, and we're not going to be in this conversation. And look, I just got a text, and this is not wrong. Not as much dispensable cash by the community to support any professional team. Arizona, Nashville, Raleigh have way more people and more corporate. And he's right. And that's kind of where I started this conversation, right? I said population may be the same size, but the corporation base is not there. And then we'd all just be, the pie would be sliced so much thinner and oh my goodness, what a shot. But wouldn't it be nice to be in the conversation? Look, it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because nobody's going to sit around and wait for a municipality to build an arena, let alone this one who's proven that they can't figure it out, right? But it just feels like this would have been the opportunity. If there was a team next door and you said, hey, come on over here and play for a couple of years while you figure this thing out, and boom. And it's not going to happen. But it just feels like such a missed opportunity. And, they're going to go. I think Kansas City's right. Kansas City's got the facility. Houston doesn't have hockey.
In that conversation, it's more than just not having an arena. I think that's fair to look at is what could Albuquerque do or what could New Mexico do to build a corporate base? Is there anything left to do? Like, that's just who we are now.
Well, I think that's the part of the building, right? And that's what's your business acumen, with Netflix coming in and with more corporate, little by little, but the text is kind of what I said earlier. I mean, look at what Nashville's got. Look what Raleigh's got. Look what some of these places have. The amount of corporations, the dollars that are there. It isn't here. But at some point, you got to start somewhere. James, good morning to you. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, James.
I called on another reason, but now that you brought this all up, it's kind of strange because I always thought when I lived in Albuquerque, I always thought, why don't they have like a major team here in this town? And I've always wondered why. And it was because you guys had the pit and stuff like that, but I noticed the pit's not that big, but it's got the collegiate, the background, the pit where Houston and North Carolina played.
Yep.
So, I always wondered that they didn't have, and then especially when I have family that live in Arizona, and they were talking about this whole thing, with the Coyotes moving and everything like that. And the thing is, when I look at Albuquerque, you said who could lead the charge? You have Native American tribes there, and you can easily put this stadium on tribal land where you don't have to pay too many taxes and stuff like that. You could avoid the middleman and stuff like that. They could lead the charge also along with the state and come together and be one, and bring a be it hockey, be it whatever. Because back in the 80s when Gretzky came to L.A., you remember that when he came, hockey was dead. But when Gretzky came, the Kings went all the way. Everybody was going to the Forum and spending gobs of money. They didn't care. They were just throwing it away. Who cared? They just wanted to be seen on the kiss cam or whatever, the hug me cam or whatever. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you are totally right. You hit the nail on the head this morning, my friend.
I appreciate that.
I called for a different reason, but hey, you guys have a good one, man.
See ya.
Take care.
Back when Gretzky came, I don't know that hockey was what it is now. But hockey was an afterthought in L.A. I mean, because you got 10 million people there, and so there's something for everyone. And people were still going to the Forum, and the purple and gold Kings were. I mean, they were always fourth behind the Dodgers and the Lakers and the whatever football was there, the Rams and the Raiders probably at that time. But they had some good teams: the Marcel Dion, Charlie Simmer, Dave Taylor, Triple Crown lines, Rogie Vachon, and they were relevant, but they were not. When Gretzky got there, it just went to a different level. The tribal thing's interesting, but you still would have to have enough of a base to support the club once it's there. Corporate sponsors, season tickets, right? I mean, I know we've had this conversation before, and is this town ready to be a major league town? Probably not. But I see similarities to other towns. I've been here long enough that I kind of what have we done over the last time? And maybe we don't want to be, right? Maybe you just don't want to be. We're good where we are. Shut up, Jeff. We're good what we are. But I think that there is a want. There's just not a know-how. Does that make sense? Like I think there's enough people who want to grow to whatever that means, right? Like I look last week, and you got Hamilton's in town, and you got the Cure, and we got all kinds of stuff coming through, right? And so we do have venues. We don't have a venue for that, but I think we want to be a town that you've got a quality of life, and whether it would be a professional hockey team or whatever, because I do believe it, whatever it would be major league, and I said this, we've had this conversation, even if it was WNBA, right? Whatever it was at the top rung, I think this town would support whatever it is. I think they would get behind it. I do. Now, would that be competition to the Lobos? Yeah, it would be. Would it be competition to United and everybody else? Yeah, it would be. And is there enough to go around? And the question might be no. Or, the answer might be no. But I think it's worth a conversation. But it doesn't matter because we don't have a facility. We don't have a path to a facility. And we don't have a path to coming together. We've got a history that shows we can't come together. And it's interesting. He said, could it be Native American land? Could they, even if, let's just say Sandy built or Isleta built an arena. You've got to have the base to go out and support it still.
Yes.
Right? You got to be able to put 15,000 people in there every night for 40 nights a year for hockey. Would we do that? I don't know. Is it worth a conversation? It just, as I listen to this whole thing, it would be really, really cool to be in that conversation with Kansas City and Houston and Quebec and Salt Lake City. That's all I'm saying. Would you like a hockey team here? That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be cool. And I think WNBA is fascinating because I think that league does need to grow its base. I understand a lot of the financial challenges that they're having, but there's a lot of good players that are not getting opportunities in the WNBA. And so for them to, I think, actually grow as a league, they need to expand their base instead of limit it because they're having a huge problem with top draft picks, not even being on rosters to start the season.
All right. You got comments on this. We're going to hit your phone calls when we get back. I got correspondence on it. Look, I understand it's a pipe dream and it's a thought, but it's just a thought I had. And I got, I think it's worth the conversation. First, I want to tell you about John Thomas Jewelers. See, John Thomas Jewelers could help support this. And you can get over to John Thomas Jewelers if you're looking for jewelry, fine jewelry and custom jewelry. And way more affordable than you think. John Thomas Jewelers does more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year, and it's affordable because they do it here, like on their site, right on site. They've got a facility, design facility, repair facility, and experts who do amazing work. John showed me a picture. Somebody sent him a picture, like a photo, and wanted a pendant made out of it. And then he showed me the final piece. It was amazing. Custom rings. If you're looking for that engagement ring, you're ready to make her your wife. They will walk you through the process that you won't have to just go into a mall jewelry store and pick something out of a case. You'll walk through and design it. And you're like, Jeff, I can't design. I got it. But they will walk you through in a comfortable way where you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, this is it. The stone, the size, the shape, the color, all of those things, exactly what you and she want. And now with any purchase of just $5,999, they're giving away a 7-night all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic. Perfect for couples looking to get engaged. You get the ring and the honeymoon. Perfect for couples looking to celebrate an anniversary, jewelry, and a trip. Perfect for anyone looking to just get away. And this is not a contest. Any purchase of $59.99, you get the trip, all the food, all the drinks, tropical destination. The DR is beautiful. They're going to give this gift away with purchase while supplies last. It's John Thomas Jewelers, JohnThomasJewelers.com, 3rd floor, Lewis University building on the Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, east of the Coronado Mall. John Thomas Jewelers, if you can dream it, they will make it.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just...
Yeah, it's interesting, some of your comments coming in. Larry said, Jeff, you're on the right path of Albuquerque needing an arena. It starts with leadership at state and city levels. We have to make New Mexico more attractive to corporations to come here, and that would build the economic base needed to sustain a sports franchise. It starts with belief. It starts with belief that we can, just like you had with New Mexico Bowl. It can happen if enough people believe in it, and then we get leadership to find a way to make it real. More than sports, JJ hit it on the head. An arena would draw more events like concerts and other entertainment year-round. Yeah, it's a process, and he's talking about bringing in corporations, and we're talking like a 20-year plan, right? But the bummer is we haven't moved in 20 years. Like you're going to tell me there's a few more corporations in here, and there's probably some that left too. But do you feel that this city now is any more ready than it was 25 years ago to take a step to that level? And again, there's plenty of you who may say no, and I don't want to be, and that's cool. If that's like you're cool. We're not ever going to be a major league sports town, a major concert town, okay, that's cool. But I think there's a lot of people who do want that progress. Bob, you do a lot of news radio stuff. I mean, I know this kind of topic comes up about growth and what people want New Mexico, and with Albuquerque being this biggest city in the state, what they want this city to be. What do you feel like? Do you feel people are anti-growth, or do you think people want to grow but nobody knows how to do it, and there's not been any leadership?
I think it's the latter, and I think part of it goes to, ever since this topic came up, as long as I can remember, it's always a downtown stadium.
It's interesting.
And there's no room at downtown for it. It has to go either outside of the downtown area, or we can't do it.
Well,
right? We can't go east because we got the mountains. There's not really enough land. South of us at Rio Bravo and Second, there's a great big, huge parcel of vacant land with the rail runner that goes there, because you have to have transportation to and from your stadium.
Ideally, you would think that would be right.
Yeah.
But we don't have the rail runner doesn't go to either of the two major venues right now.
No, but if the stadium
or the airport
was there,
for that matter.
Yeah, if the stadium was there, it would bring people down from Santa Fe and up
maybe
from Belen.
Theoretically.
West,
there's tons of land.
There's tons of land, but not a real infrastructure to get people to and from. And north, look at the problems they have with Balloon Fiesta.
Right. So it's really interesting. You bring up a point. I just had lunch with somebody who's very involved with downtown revitalization, and that person, is on that boat, but understands that it might go a different way. We have this conversation all the time. The ideal spot, and I've said this countless times, I still think is the fairgrounds. Right. I still think that you've got land there, that you've got access, that you've got, that would be right. Jared, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Thanks for calling back.
Good morning. Hey, Jeff, I think you're not trying to say you're communicating very well what your point is, but I think your point is lost on most people that live here or are native to here. And I'm sorry for the people who just heard me say that, but it's true. Because the problem with Albuquerque, and I moved here in 2002, is this whole town has that small town, good old boys type thing. And my point is, like, you know, they're talking about strong mayor, weak mayor, all this stuff. And a big company, NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever, they look at our resume and how we handle things before they make decisions that you're talking about. And what you're saying is, let's put ourselves in a position so that when they look at us, we look attractive. But we never put ourselves in that position. And the edification for that statement is, look at the balloon fiesta. We can't even get that right. And we're the only place geographically, you know, that's what they say, right? Geographically, this is the best spot for it. We can't even get the balloon fiesta right. All we do is react to that. Oh, we have a lot of traffic. Oh, let's build a ramp next year. Oh, we have a lot of traffic this year. Let's do the Paseo, off ramp or whatever. And that's all we do in this town is we react. And by the time we're reacting, the problem's already coming past. And we don't solve anything because we just solve to fix the problem from last year, but we don't think about another problem going to come. So just like Paseo still gets backed up to this day, right? They made this new exit for the balloon fiesta up here, and I guarantee you in October we're still going to have a ton of traffic because they don't think beyond any. You get what I'm saying? You know.
But there's traffic when there's a lot of people. There's going to be traffic. Major events all have traffic, but could we be better at it? Yeah, we could be better at that traffic.
We could be better at it, but what you're saying is we have to take the risk as a city. The NHL's, it's not for them to take the risk.
Yeah, I agree.
The NHL, the NBA, they're saying we want to move to a city who's all in on us before we even look at you. Yeah, I agree with that. Why would you or I, or if we had a company, why would we look at the chains that come here, the food chains and things like that? If you want to say In-N-Out Burger, if In-N-Out Burger doesn't look at moving next door from Arizona to here as attractive, why would the professional?
No, but some are. Raising Cane's is opening 5 stores here. I think there's been drip progress, but to your point, I think you got to be proactive and make yourself more attractive, right?
But Jeff, the drip progress is happening all over the country, and we're the last in line.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah,
with
we're
you.
progressing by default, but we're still in the back of the line.
No, I think we're singing the same song, Jared. Yeah, I think we're singing the same
right
song.
On, Jeff.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you. I think he and I are probably saying the same things differently. Post Malone tickets are going to be available for you. Somebody's going to win them at $8.25. You want to do that, Bob? How's that, JJ?
Sure.
$8.25. We'll give away Post Malone tickets. You got something on your mind? I something stirring in your head.
What if we built an arena connected to all these fast food joints?
I don't hate that idea either. A big old food court with In-N-Out and Raising Cane's. The In-N-Out Palace?
There'll be a line of cars for days.
Well, then there'll be traffic, dude. I got a few more thoughts on this. Right? But Bob brought something up, the arena. What if we were just, I don't know, we might not get the Coyotes if they move. Might be more attractive in Kansas City or Quebec or Houston or Salt Lake.
What if we got the Foxes?
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Jim Rowe.
When Dylan Brooks
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
Entertainment district that they're probably going to move. And Kansas City and Quebec and Salt Lake City and Houston. My gosh, this would be the ideal opportunity if we were prepared, if we were ready. Wouldn't it be cool for New Mexico, for Albuquerque to jump into the Major League Arena, National Hockey League? Jeff, nobody cares about hockey. Nobody cared about hockey in Vegas until they got there, and then everybody loved it. Like, I firmly believe that this town would support Major League sports if something came here. Now, the corporate base isn't there. We don't have an arena. Like, the conversation is, what are you doing? Why are you wasting my time on this, right? Ed says, to build an arena, I've had 2 national companies that have come to discuss a possible development on an arena. The issue with both was they need a permanent tenant and they need a permanent tenant, right? So what do? Who's going to operate it? Who's going to share it? Who's going to be in it? Right? Downtown is probably not in the cards. Where do you go? Mo says, how about Central and San Pedro? Okay, it's kind of the fairgrounds, isn't it? I've been saying, here's why I tell you the fairgrounds. And so Bob, because there's a couple of emails that came in this morning, and it says, Bobcat's right on. And this one says, he put the arena issue as eloquently as I've ever heard. I hope the politicos are listening to this OD in the AM. Jack says, Jeff, the reason we don't have an arena is the same reason Rio Rancho doesn't have their own bridge across the river. Something that size needs all of our government entities to work together. The feds, the state, Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, tribes, private business. In New Mexico, everyone's too territorial. Look how, and he's blaming it on Krebs. He says Krebs went off half-cocked and wasted $60 million on the pit like Lone Ranger when all that money could have been better spent on a new state-of-the-art venue everyone could benefit from. But the pit needed upgrading at that point. Now, you can argue whether or not you needed suites or not. I don't know that they definitely didn't need suites. I know some of you say nobody's in them. Well, that's not true anymore. Now that they're winning, they are producing the revenue. And did it decrease the overall number? Yeah, it did. But whatever. The pit needed an upgrade.
Jeff?
Yeah.
One thing with the pit, it's a prime example of how things get done not correctly.
Okay, so I'll ask you, what was not correct about it?
Well, what happened to all of our tournaments?
Yeah, the footprint of that and that whole requirement changed as the pit was being redone. But yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, you're not getting the NCAA stuff. The concourses did get wide, but you're looking at a 50-something-year building that you're trying to keep and preserve because of the historic nature of that. I mean, God forbid you break down the pit. At some point, the sacrilege of conversation of, hey, UNM needs a new arena is going to come up, and everybody's going, no, you can't. But push that down the road. So going to your point.
Yes.
On everybody talks about downtown. I agree with you, right? Where downtown? Well, it was going to be right there at Copper and First, Copper and Second, right there. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Let's just say infrastructure, transportation, how do people get there was an issue. Okay, fine. So it's been talked about for. I get it. So what's wrong with the fairground? They've talked about for years putting the fair out on the west side where there's a bunch of land, and using that. They've got the track. You've got access. You've got freeway access. You got the art bus runs by there. You've got major arteries that get in there. You've got land. You've got parking. You could put the soccer stadium and the dam and an arena there.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be acceptable.
And you've got
downtown.
And it would join. And this has always been my contention on this. And look, this isn't going to happen overnight, but you would join the two vibrant areas in this town are Uptown and Nob Hill, right?
Correct.
What's right in the middle? Fairgrounds. It would almost join those two areas, but whatever. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get us going down this rabbit hole a little bit, but I kind of did. It's just one of those where I look at it and they're like, could there have been an opportunity? That's all. Could there have been if we were proactive? That's kind of where I'm going on this. Jeff, for the umpteenth time, if you think this city needs an arena, then go buy and build one. If for one think your argued for arena is foolish and self-centered BS. Is it self-centered BS? I mean, what do I gain from it? The last caller, this comes from the same number. The last caller is full of it. Businesses, including restaurants, in particular fast food ones, move within their existing supply chains. That's why no Sonic stores exist in California, being based out of Oklahoma. The Kansas City alternative is best as they already have the Sprint Center. Yes, if I bought the Coyotes, I'd move them to San Diego. Okay. San Diego didn't have an arena. They got an old sports arena. Where are they going? But that's why I think Kansas City's going to have it, because they have the Sprint Center. That's kind of why one of the reasons they built it. They get NCAA tournaments, and they get the Sprint Center. So let me see this again. For the umpteenth time, if you think the city needs an arena, then go buy and build one.
Yeah.
If for one think your argued for arena is foolish and self-centered, all right. All right.
Jeff Symbieta Center.
Because it's all for me. Oh, maybe I should buy one and build one. Should I buy it first or build it first? Wouldn't it be cool though? I'm just saying. All the stuff that we could do with that. That's all.
Or like a Walmart available that people are arguing about.
Oh, there you go. Put it right there.
Not quite big enough.
There you go. Build it right there. That's all right. All right. I'm gonna get you scores. You got some of your big dogs starting to tee off at the PGA Championship. We're going to get into that. And when we come back, a pretty big-name college coach. He's spent his career in college. He's been very successful in college. Is it time for a college coach to move up and take over the team in the NBA that had the best record? At least he's being interviewed for that job. We'll do that when we come back. Post Malone tickets at 8:25, so stay with us. Aaron Jones built IPS back in 2006. That's when he opened the doors of this private security company, Affordable Private Security. And all these years later, homeowners, business owners all over Albuquerque trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. I trust IPS. I've trusted IPS for years to watch my home. They come by on a daily basis. My neighbors now use IPS to watch their home. When I travel, they pick up newspapers and garbage cans get rolled to the curb and back on garbage day. And if there's a package that's dropped off, whatever I need, they're there. And when alarms go off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with trained, armed security officers. Look, Aaron's from here, and he's passionate about making Albuquerque better, a safer place to live and work by watching homes and businesses with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. Committed to our city and to your protection. IPS's phone number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or ipsglobal.com.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
This by saying I'm not suggesting this happens now. Okay. So JJ, I may get murdered on this one. I'm not suggesting by any means that the Lobos should move out of the pit. Okay. Can I just preface that right now? All right. So are we good? You understand that's not what I'm saying? But there's going to come a day where that arena is just, it's antiquated, right? That's why they did a $60 million renovation, because it was a 50-year-old building, but the history there, and I get it, and it's unique, and it's special, and it's different, and it's loud, and it's the identity of the program. I got it. But there's going to be a day, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever years from now, where it's like, how much Band-Aid can you put on this? How much lipstick can you put on? It's going to kind of become somewhat tingly-ish, right?
Yes.
How is that going to go over with the Lobo base, whoever it is at that point? And again, please understand, I'm not saying by any means it should happen now. But how's that going to go over? Is it going to be like just build another pit? Is it going to be completely redo this one? And it's going to take Lord knows how much money and move into Johnson Gym for 2 years while they build it? Like, how's that going to play? Right?
Yeah.
Because whoever's in charge at that point, and again, we're years and years away from that. I mean,
good morning, Eddie. You need to rebuild the pit.
Yeah, you got to move out of the pit. Like you need to relocate into you're going to relocate into this new. We're building a new state of the art arena at the fairgrounds, and that's your new home. And we're taking down the pit. How's that going to go?
I think, first off, a good question is what's next for the pit? Like, what seriously needs to be considered for that to be a viable venue moving forward? Has the ship just sailed
on what
for NCAA tournament?
No.
Like,
there's a plan now. I firmly believe there's a plan to make that footprint. You're gonna have to lose some seats. You're gonna have to take out a few rows on each side.
I think
there is a plan to get back to that.
For the pit is just what is the next upgrade for that, which is absolutely fair.
It depends. What's the issue? Is it what Bob said about not getting NCAA tournaments, or is it about becoming a modern day arena, right? Having actual seats, having wide concourse.
Becoming a modern day arena should get you in conversation to do more things.
Well, so what does that mean to become a modern day arena? So, for instance, let me give you a few examples, right? I mean, you've been around the league, right? Everybody's got seats. Who's got bench? Who's got bleachers? Moby, that's it, right? And Clune, those two. Anybody else just have bleachers, not seats to sit in? Just those two, okay? The high-end seats, and some people are going to scoff at this, but this is part of revenue and being a modern-day arena, where your Lobo Club seats, you've got drink service, meal service at the seat, right? You've got servers coming by. Well, this building's not built for that, right? They've got, I mean, can you imagine servers having to walk all the way up and all the way down, and there's how tight it is down there? You don't get that. Like even at the VIP suites at Isleta Amphitheater, you've got servers that come by, bring you drinks. Jeff, how hard is it to go get a drink? That's not the point. If we're talking about modern day arena, I'm not telling you it needs to be done today, but somebody's going to be faced with, what do we do? Because the place is so special, so acoustic, so historic, so loud, so different, so unique. So this place is so identified with that arena. Like at some point, some athletic director and president are going to be faced with that, aren't they? How is this fan base and this town that is so in love, and rightfully so, with that arena going to handle that conversation? Because I don't know what the answer is. You build another one? You build another 37-foot hole in the ground next door? Or, they're going to have to go play somewhere else for a couple of years and then, right? I mean, the identity of that, how often does Richard Pitino talk about that building? The identity of that program is that building, is it not?
Yes.
I'm not telling you it needs to happen now, but
it's gonna happen at some point.
I mean, you've been in enough buildings now. You realize this is a 57, 58, whatever it is, year old facility. Now, does it look good from the outside? It looks great from the outside. Right? The ramp's an issue. We've talked about the roof isn't able to hold a jumbotron. We talked about the bench seating. We talked about the lack of high-end accommodations. I'm not telling you need to do it now, but man, at some point, it just crossed my mind as we're having that conversation. Somebody's going to, at some point, be faced with that issue. A, the funding of it, but B, just the, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the PR of it, right? I mean, can you imagine this town without the pit?
No. And that's going to be the challenge is doing the fixes and the changes that are needed to continue to push that building forward into the future where it needs to be, while without totally losing everything. But at some point, it's not going to be the same building you walked into for X amount of years.
I know. All right, we're not there yet. I just wanted to bring it up as we're having that conversation. All right, Kelvin Sampson has coached in college basketball for a lot of years. He's been at Washington State, and Indiana, and Oklahoma, and Houston. He's got a 6.86 winning percentage. He had Houston as the number one seed in the NCAA tournament. They were the number one ranked team in the country. And many reports now, including Adrian Wojnarowski, who's never wrong, say the Houston coach has been interviewed by the Milwaukee Bucks of the National Basketball Association. So that's the first known high-profile college coach to meet with Milwaukee. I think we all almost assume, JJ, that we're going to see all these high-profile coaches change chairs, right? Monty Williams, Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll swap our guy for your guy.
But I mean, right? We kind of look who's out there. I mean, Monty Williams is there, and Nick Nurse is available, and Frank Vogel's available, and all these guys, and I think there's going to be a number of wild cards in here, and I don't know that they're all going to be that way. What do you think of Kelvin Sampson? 9 seasons at Houston, he's 232 and 74. 4 consecutive Sweet 16s, a trip to the Final Four. They were number one much of this season. I think it's interesting. And with them going out of the box, supposedly their list includes a bunch of assistants, right? Milwaukee's Charles Lee and Golden State's Kenny Atkinson, a name that you brought up yesterday. Portland's Scotty Brooks, Adrian Griffin of Toronto, Chris Quinn, Miami, Phoenix's Kevin Young. James Borrego evidently is on the list for Milwaukee, the former Albuquerque Academy. Well, not former alum, because once you're an alum, you're always an alum, but the former Charlotte Hornets coach. If any of them think out of the box, it's probably going to be them, isn't it? Milwaukee.
Yeah. And this is what you should do during the interview process, is cast a wide net. Get some different ideas in there. Meet some different people, because it's very easy to get caught in your tight-knit circle. It's very easy to not think outside the box. And this is what you want to see, even with an established team like Milwaukee, where it would make sense just, boom, put Monty Williams there. Something simple like that. A Nick Nurse, championship coach, and go. Push yourself a little bit. If there's something intriguing out there.
And it's hard because you see a guy like a Nick Nurse who's won a championship, right? You see a guy like Doc Rivers who's won a championship, although there's a lot that's happened since. You see Monty Williams who's been that close to a championship, and everybody, have you heard a bad word about Monty Williams? Does anybody not like Monty Williams? Like you question a little bit of rotations and that kind of stuff, but everybody seems to love that dude. So this is interesting, but that, as we go through this, Daryl Morey, Philadelphia's general manager yesterday, said this is going to be a long process. Their process to go hire a coach to replace Doc Rivers. He said yesterday that the players will not have a say. And I know there's been a lot of conversation about this. Joel Embiid was close with Doc Rivers. Joel Embiid is the MVP of the league. Doc Rivers just got fired as head coach. Do you believe in these scenarios? Can you see a scenario where Lakers hired a coach and LeBron is not consulted?
talk to about it.
But let me draw you out the danger of talking to. Okay, because I see the danger on both sides. If you don't include your star, what are you doing? Right? I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. I've got Joel Embiid. How are you not talking to them about who the next coach is? But what happens if you're the general manager, you and the owner and the basketball people all say, we're going with, let's just say, Nick Nurse. And let's go see what LeBron says, or let's go see what Embiid says, or let's go see what Giannis says. And they say, no, we love Doc Rivers. Right? And then you hire the guy that you all think, well, then why'd you ask me? Do you see the danger of creating a rift that might not even be there, but creating a rift? If you go to your star, ask for his opinion and understanding it's only his opinion, and you go the other way.
Yeah, but I think it's a conversation that you can't be scared to have. You bring your best player in. It's basketball. It's different than anything else. It's kind of shocks me. Like if I'm a general manager of a football team, I'm not leaning all my decisions on Devontae Adams. I'm not. That's a totally different conversation than if you're including Joel Embiid or Giannis along those lines on your 15-player roster versus your 53.
All right, but what if you go
roster? So in basketball, I think it is something you should do. Is sit down and say, hey, you're not 100% making this decision, but your input is valuable because you are the face of the franchise. You're going to be the focal point of whatever the new coach does.
Yeah.
So this is what's up. This is what we're thinking. How do you feel?
I think that's how it's got to be. Look, and I don't know how you delicately say this to Giannis, to LeBron, to whoever it is. Hey, so I want to include you on this. Now, you're not making the decision. The decision is ultimately going to be made by me and the owner. Here's what we think. Here's who we're looking at. What do you think? Okay. We think differently, and here's why. Okay, you still are convicted. You want that guy. We want this guy. All right. Understand, it's delicate, right? You see the issue? JJ, I agree with you. You've got to have the conversation, because if you don't, I think the downside, the negative, the potential risk is way more weighty if you don't have it than if you do. But so I had a situation years ago where, I always bounce just in my operation, New Mexico Bowl, I bounce ideas off of people all the time. But I'm not always going to, ultimately I got to make the decision. And then someone said, well, why do you even ask my opinion? You went the other way. Yeah, but what about all these other times I went your way on this? This time, I did go the other way, but I value your opinion. Just because I didn't go, well, I don't even ask me. Whoa, kind of got weird, right? But you see the rift.
Yeah, but
it started making me think, why? Gosh, should I just make all these decisions myself? But I wanted more opinions on.
Well, these are the ones too where it's like you can't be scared. Like I dislike, you're gonna upset your superstar. It's gonna ask for a trade. Like, grow up. It's business. Like not everything is going to be catered to you, even a franchise superstar. Maybe you might not like the decision. What if you fall in love with the coach and you're like, you know what? This worked out being really well. You cannot get too scared of someone's feelings being hurt for a little bit and then immediately think my star player is going to ask for a trade out of here.
Well, I think you would be more apt to go that way if you completely excluded him from the process. Right.
But I think all these guys should be smart enough to understand that they're not going to control the process 100%. Like, you really haven't seen that work out well for anyone outside of, say, LeBron James. But even in LeBron's career, he's had moments where the pushback has been no. And it was going to Miami. Everyone thought, oh, here's LeBron James. They're exposed to a young guy. He's immediately going to be gone because that's not a LeBron guy. And that's not the case. This is Eric Spoelstra. This is Pat Riley. This is what you got. Worked out pretty good.
The difference there was you had Pat Riley. Right. And as big as LeBron was, and at that point in his career, he didn't get to make the call over Pat Riley. Pat Riley had the backing of ownership. Pat Riley was a legend. Pat Riley was a strong front office guy. And so Eric Spoelstra had Pat Riley. Then Eric Spoelstra went out and performed, and now he gets to live on his own merit. It's an interesting conversation as you go. And I'm going to guess some of you have run businesses or been in decision-making positions. I've been in similar spots, right? You go out, you get opinions. Hey, what do you think about this? And you brainstorm and all right, you go a different way. Have you ever had that? The person, you use somebody else's, why'd you ask me if you're not going to value my opinion? No, I value your opinion. Just went the other way on this one. All right, 505-246-0610. So we're going to give away Post Malone tickets right now. Gato Roberto's going to answer the phones. Caller number, you got a number in your mind, Bob? You want to go to what, 76, 92? How many calls you want to take? Caller number
3.
Is that where you want to go?
Yeah.
All right, caller 3 right now, 505-246-0610. Caller number 3, you win 2 tickets to go see Post Malone, courtesy of your good friend, Gato Roberto on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
But born at just the right time to listen to Two Men On with Van and Fred. Weekdays from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Are we giving away the tickets? Got thought about it, Phil?
Yes, we did to Jose.
Jose's going to see
Albuquerque.
Post Malone. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll have 2 more tickets to go see Post Malone tomorrow. Where's that? It's at Isleta Amphitheater, right?
That is correct.
All right. So you go down there. You drive to go to a show down there. Went to the Cure the other night. It was packed. I mean, people go down that for events. People tell me if you build it, they will come. Garcia says we have an arena for most of the events you described, Jeffy. It's called the Santa Ana Star Center. The problem is if you live in Fort Hills or Mesa del Sol, it's an all-day trip. We haven't built the roads. We haven't built the bridges to get there.
That is not an arena that takes you into the classification that Jeff Symbieta is talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, yes, it would be right for the American Hockey League, if that's what that's what they're looking to bring in there, or right, or the East Coast Hockey League. It would be, I imagine, for CBA or something like that. Yeah, but it doesn't get you the shows you want. It gets some of the shows. It's getting shows. I'm not telling you it's a horrible. It's actually really nice. Would the Lobos play there? What have the Lobos played in the 6,000 seat arena in Rio Rancho? But I mean, I guess you've played there, right? They've had WNIT games out there. Yeah. Bobcat is roaring, says Carl. Jeff, if you want a true public-private partnership, you need a reliable anchor tenant. Without that, it's going to be just another taxpayer-funded boondoggle. We're trying to cobble together events. So 100% agree. I mean, yeah, what we've been saying. 100%. Sid is in on a modern arena. Mr. Symbieta. I think you even spelled my name right. Here's a little history as I remember it, he says. The need for a new facility was acknowledged as far back as the early 80s, as University Arena was too small and antiquated. The Band-Aid was going to be arched support beams outside the building that would hold a center-hung Megavision inside, supporting the weak roof, funded jointly by UNM and the city, but the city balked at paying their share. I know you're not going to believe this, but the city was broke, and counselors didn't want those funds spent on a state facility when they could be used for pork in their individual district. UNM was also poor and couldn't afford to proceed on their own, so the project died. In the late 80s, there was talk of building an all-new 25,000-seat super pit. I don't think it ever got past the talking stage. Then in the 90s, Mayor Marty first proposed a new downtown arena. At first, it was going to be privately funded, but not surprisingly, nobody with enough cash stepped forward without a viable business model in place. So as Mayor Marty's terms went on, the plans were constantly in flux, but it never got to the point of being serious, partly because you have two factions in this city. The it has to be downtown crowd and the anywhere but downtown crowd. It also didn't help when Rio Rancho built a now struggling competing venue in the middle of nowhere. He says, in my opinion, the most logical place is the fairgrounds as a replacement to Dumpy Tingley. Plenty of parking. It's centrally located, easy access. People are already used to attending big events there and are in desperate need of real development. However, that means our governmental entities actually would have to work together. Business leaders, politicos, UNM, the city of Albuquerque, the state of New Mexico, etc. are all going to have to check their egos at the door, get around a table, and actually talk to each other with the goal of doing what's best for the citizens of New Mexico and not their own interests. Ultimately, that rarely happens around here. Thank you, Sid. All right. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What do you got?
That was an excellent email by Sid, by the way.
Yeah, what's up?
He stole one of my choice descriptives, antiquated. Hey, quickly, before I forget, I think tonight's winner of the Lakers-Nuggets game is going to win the NBA championship, succinctly. If the Lakers get an advantage and strike a hold on the series, it's good for them. I think if the Nuggets win tonight, I find it difficult for the Lakers to win 4 or 5 games, and the winner of the West, I think, is going to win the NBA championship. You know, my son just recently moved to Austin, and I know we're not comparing apples to apples here because Austin has a population in the greater area of almost 3 million people. It's stunning, the growth that goes on out there. And even in his first few weeks, outside of traffic issues, right, with 3 million people in the greater area, he noticed very unique differences in terms of entertainment, safety, and Austin's a very diverse city, right? But, you know, the concerts that we fall over ourselves here, I think he went to 3 country concerts. He went to the University of Texas spring football game. It's just different, right? New Mexico or Albuquerque is a good city. There's a lot of positive things. But the pit, for example, is antiquated. It's not a great facility. It has a great history, and there's a good vibe in there. I went to one Lobo game, basketball game this year, the San Diego State game. It took me 40 minutes. I timed it, 40 minutes to exit the parking lot. And maybe I should have paid more money and parked in a better spot, but it's just not.
How long did it take you to get out of? But if you, I don't care. See, the traffic thing is a bad argument to me. I mean, if you go to Dodger Stadium or if you go to a game at a Texas game or go to pick something in Austin, it's going to take you a long time. When there's a lot of people, there's a lot of cars. It's going to take a long time to get out. I just think that's part of dealing with 15,000 people.
You're right, Jeff. No argument here, right? And like I say, my son even referenced traffic issues in the greater city of in Austin, right? So there's traffic everywhere, and parking's expensive. I think that Rio Rancho had a good idea of building a facility outwardly, right, in the outskirts, and kind of hopefully with the intent of building around it. If you look at what Glendale did in Phoenix, they built that stadium, which has hosted the Super Bowl a couple of times and several big events. They went way outside the city, letting them into a different city. And Dallas did the same thing where the Cowboys play. So I think because Albuquerque is landlocked by the mountains and then Native American land, reservation land, you either have to go south to a booming Los Lunas area, or you have to go west, you know, or north towards the Rio Rancho area. Okay. And maybe there are pockets in the inner city, but you know, I don't know what the answer is for Albuquerque. But even like referencing Raising Cane's, Raising Cane's has been on Cal Shore Boulevard in Las Cruces, New Mexico for what, 7 years now?
They've been there for a while, and they're doing well. Hey, I got to move, but I appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, so there's so much in there. West is an issue where people are going to go. I mean, I don't know. I think we got JJ, we got kind of a case study in the Rio Rancho thing, don't we? Now, people go to the stadiums that way. If you put it off of I-40, right? People go to Community Stadium.
Yeah.
What about like Route 66 Casino? Is that too far? Probably.
That'd probably be too far.
All right. But people go to 98th Street to go to Community Stadium, the baseball facility, right? Mm-hmm. Is that too far? There's a population base out there. There's a lot out there. Look, man, I don't know. we're never going to get there because we don't know where, we don't know how big, we don't know how we're going to fund it. And that's all I brought up. And if you're just joining us, I brought this up earlier because I think the Phoenix Coyotes are going to move. Tempe just voted down a new facility, and Kansas City, Houston, Salt Lake City, Quebec, they're all there with arenas and saying, here, let's go. And I just feel like, I just thought, God, we missed an opportunity. Would we be in a conversation to attract a major league team, a National Hockey League team? And some say we don't need it. Hockey wouldn't work here. I don't know. Hockey worked pretty well in Vegas. Hockey worked pretty well in Nashville and Raleigh. We don't have the corporate base. You might be right. But at some point, do we want to be? And that's all. That's where the conversation on Arena came from today. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great.
Kazuki Higa, -4. Who's Kazuki Higa? Japanese player. -4 after 7 holes, JJ. See that coming? Who had Kazuki Higa? Come on now.
Didn't have him this weekend.
You didn't have him? He's not on your list? Probably won't be there when it's all said and done. Bunch of guys at -1. Harold Varner, Justin Thomas, John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler's even, Colin Morikawa, Rory even. Where's do you see there's Brooksy. Brooksy's +1. He had a struggle on number 3. So that's where we are. I'll keep you up to date as we keep going on this thing. They're underway. All right, let me get you some of your correspondence on the text. It's 505-246-0610. Have I recently proposed the new city arena, or has this been a conversation for a quarter of a century?
It's been a conversation for quite some time.
All right. That same phone number kind of took the shot at me earlier. I'll read this all to you. And look, I actually really appreciate dissenting opinion. As much as you, what do you tell me? It's my self-serving, whatever it is. Jeff, where'd it go? I got to find the start of it. You recently proposed this new city arena you argue for, and pitch it should be an 18,000 seating capacity that would compete with the pit now. Obviously suggesting then, which you now say you're not saying, compete with the pit. Any renovation of the pit should be separated from any other arena. And as many an urban planner, construction project manager, real estate developer, municipal development manager, and neighborhoods will attest, the fairgrounds is a bad new location. You may be selectively blending your data herein. Jeff, you say hockey worked in Las Vegas, implying their attendance was driven by the presence of the team. Perhaps the attendance was due to the team winning out of the chute and due to the city's inherent traffic of fans, not just because hockey showed up there. I think all of those factors are right. I'm not arguing any of those factors. I'm also not arguing that it was really successful there. Raleigh wasn't a big hockey town. It was successful there, right? Okay, a couple things. I think is he trying to tell me I'm hypocritical? Is that what he's saying? That I'm like any arena that was going to be built would have always been built in addition to the pit. I think the model is Spokane in some respects, right? They have Gonzaga there. And Gonzaga's got the kennel, but they built a Spokane arena, and they get to host all kinds of events. Again, is this city big enough to support two arenas, to have a let's just say, even if you want to call it a minor league hockey team, and let's say it's 12,000 and not 18,000, is this city big enough to? Yes, the Scorpions succeeded here until they moved to Rio Rancho. We had a CBA team or D League team. The pit conversation was way off in the future. A renovation or whatever you do with the pit. If that emailer is saying basically, or that texter saying basically, we're not big enough to have two arenas. Is that what I understand? The pit's pretty much used November through March, all the indoor months that you need it. It's hard to get in there, right?
Yeah.
You got men's and women's basketball plus whatever else you got in there, which aren't a lot of events because you got men's and women's basketball. And it's not an easy transformation, right? Doesn't have that big garage door, ground level, just roll stuff in. It's a lot. It takes more time to flip for other events. I'll get you more of this. You've got a lot of good thoughts on this. A lot of good thoughts. Let's get into the Heat and Celtics. What's your thought on that? How about Jimmy freaking Butler? You think differently about that series now? Lakers and Nuggets go tonight as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Sound.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Buck.
Big night last night in Boston for the Heat. Miami goes up and wins Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the National Basketball Association, 123-116. Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 steals. Jimmy postseason Butler is a real deal. Bam Adebayo had 20 points as Jason Tatum led the Celtics with 30, but disappeared really in the fourth quarter. Didn't get him the ball. When he did get the ball, he turned it over. So the Heat steal Game 1 on the road in Massachusetts. Game 2 tomorrow night. Meanwhile, Game 2 in the West. Tonight in Colorado, Denver Nuggets with a 1-0 series lead. And the Lakers. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Gato Roberto is in today, producing. The number is 505-246-0610. That is the 377 Brewery hotline, as well as the Sports Animal text line. JJ, we've been in a lot of it's arena talk, and I know we've done this in a lot of different fashions over the years. And I brought it up today, and maybe it went a little further than I anticipated. I don't know what I expected, but you guys have a bunch of conversation and stuff. I'll still get to you. The Phoenix Coyotes are probably going to move. There's a National Hockey League team. They're playing in a 5,000-seat arena in Tempe. And yesterday, the voters in Arizona voted down a new project to build a new arena. And so Kansas City's there and with Sprint Center, and Salt Lake City, Houston. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we had an arena? Wouldn't it be great to be in that conversation, to start attracting? Maybe we wouldn't get it. We don't have the corporate base, and it's turned into arena talk, and where should it go and how big? And this is everything that it's always been was today, right? It shouldn't be here. You're an idiot, and this is why. I don't know. Did you learn anything? Did you feel anything differently today than you did before on an arena?
No.
Okay. John says, hey, guys, there's no doubt that we need an arena in Albuquerque. That emailer who said we don't is out of his mind. I was just at my daughter's graduation at Tingley, and it's just embarrassing to think that that's the best place we have to offer. I do think downtown is viable. The land where Lomas and the railroad meet, where the post office is located, it's the perfect location. It has Rail Runner. It's close to the art. It's got access to both freeways. It's a great location. That's Broadway and Lomas, he's saying. He says the problem with the fairgrounds location is its location. I'm a Lyft driver at night, he says. And on the weekends, getting calls to go to the casino at the track is sketchy at best. Try going down an alley in that area looking for your customer after midnight. It's not fun. If you want people to park their car in that area or to go find food and bars outside the arena pre and post would be even worse. One of the best restaurants in town is at Central in Louisiana, and I didn't try it until it opened in another location at Eubank in Spain. The area may be called the International District, but it's still commonly known as the War Zone. When I get a call to go down there, I text my wife and tell her I'm going to the War Zone. Infrastructure and space-wise, the fairgrounds is a great location. Location-wise, it would be hard to convince people to go there. As far as industries to get involved with the arena, I say look at the marijuana industry here. I don't take part in it, but I have no problem with it. And it's really an opportunity to explode and be huge. Have a good day. It's from John. It's good thoughts. So my thought on that, and you brought this up a lot about that area, how sketchy it is. And my thought is putting up that arena and putting the investment into that area would clean that area up. You're out there, Bob. So you drive a lot, and I saw your face just cringe on that. So you don't think if you built that up, put resources into that area. Now, obviously, people have to go somewhere. Where would they go? Would they go further east, up central? I don't know. But if you built that area up, put in some new restaurants, some new infrastructure, a new arena, whatever, you just think that that's helpless. It's done. You can't do anything about that area because we've seen plenty of places where areas have been cleaned up and redone.
True, but you get all that traffic and everything, and that tends to make the surrounding areas less desirable.
Okay.
And I was driving down Louisiana, going south, and the racetrack has these lights. They're bright.
Yes, they are.
And at night, I can just imagine the people that are facing that just cringe at it. They don't like it. You put restaurants or anything there, you'd have to block the windows because half the people would be blinded by the light.
Blinded by what light? What are we talking about?
The for the racetrack.
Okay.
At
that
night,
exists now.
Yeah, that exists now. And you look at the area.
It's sketchy, man. It's sketchy. I get that. Would something like this clean up? Like you say, where there's a lot of people. I don't know. I mean, is the area around the stadium and the pit and the football stadium sketchy? Do you get a lot of people around there? Is that sketchy?
No, but
it's a different type of sketch.
Yeah,
but you're not worried walking to your car at the pit after the game,
right? So you think this would just be putting something and nothing would change if you put the resources into it?
Because you're asking to change miles.
Okay.
And if you're talking about infrastructure in and out, it's a square. How's it? What are you going to shut down each side for an in and out traffic flow?
Let me ask you this: where Coors Field is, and I don't know the answer to this. Was it always a nice area? In Colorado. So what'd they do? Because I don't feel sketch when I go there. What did they do to make that not sketchy?
They did move it because I was born and raised in Denver.
What?
Because the original stadium was not where it is now.
No, I know that. And then they put this in Lodo. So like when I went to Nationals Park and I heard the term gentrified, and I understand the political implications there. But when I went to Nationals Park, I heard that used to be just sketchy. You would never go there, and now you do. I just
maybe it would. Maybe it would.
Yeah, no, I understand the issues with it now. But if you put resource in there and you law enforcement and just built it up to something that was nicer,
which is a long term
100%. I'm not telling you this happens overnight. This isn't add water and watch it grow. No, I know that. And you guys might be right. But I think it's been done in so many other towns. Like what? Okay, so let's take this other place, Lomas and Central. Isn't that sketchy?
I don't see anything of the capacity that a stadium or an auditorium would need.
He's talking about the post office sign. So my point on are we going to run from somewhere where we think sketchy is?
Well, the challenge there, what's different is in lower downtown, it's not necessarily surrounded by neighborhoods. It's more like they have built it up around, like there's some apartments and stuff, but you're talking about a change to neighborhoods. And can you get the people on board, or enough people that would see this as a positive and believe, hey, if arena went in here,
Mhm.
would that then help change
Well,
the entire?
It's not like you're blowing up a park and adding something. I mean, it's already an event center. Those neighborhoods live around Tingley Coliseum and a casino and a racetrack. So there's, I mean, when they like, that's already an event space. It's not like you're ripping down buildings and saying let's.
Yeah,
put it-
but what would change? Just because it's a nicer arena?
I think so. Yeah, I think it would have to be a whole project, right? So it would
Yeah,
be
it's-
enforcement. It would be
As you said, they have an arena right now. There's
Yeah, but
a
it's
track.
not-
They have
yeah,
events.
Yeah. It would have to be a
And it's-
concerted effort to make it nicer.
And so we're just saying, hey, we're building a new arena, so we're going to clean up this entire area.
It would have
Why
to
don't
be-
you clean it up right now?
Well, that's a fair question in its own right. 100% fair question in its own right. But when you say clean it up, now let's move over to 770 KQB News Radio, because the people who are there, the homeless, the traffic that you've got going on there. Let's just say you clean it. It's going somewhere. It's just going further up Central. I mean, let's be honest, right?
It'll go wherever it's not
Policed?
It'll go, yeah, correct.
Oh.
You know, where it'll go where it's easiest to go to.
That's right. Ken says, "Where are all the events, Jeff? What I don't get is how can the Forum host the Kings Wednesday, the Lakers Thursday, Billy Joel Friday, World Champion Boxing Saturday, Lakers again on Sunday, and Garth Brooks on Monday. Yet around here, if there's Global Basketball Tuesday and the Lady Levels on Saturday, then OMG, we can't possibly squeeze anything else into the arena. We hear about how the facility staff is going to have to work overtime, and we're advised to buy ducats online. Don't try going to the ticket office because they're overwhelmed." So, Ken, this somewhat goes into the conversation we had about a state-of-the-art arena, an antiquated arena. And I'm not going to tell you it can't be done. I don't think they can turn it from a concert into a basketball overnight like they can at Crypto.com Arena. Because one of the things is, honestly, how you do it. There's only one way down the floor, and it's down that little ramp. And the ramp is as wide as this room, right?
Yeah.
And so if you look at a modern arena that is ground level that they've got, right, you just bring the trucks right up. And in many cases, in most cases, bring them right in to set up a stage to cover the floor. Just the logistics of turning that building as opposed to a modern building make it a lot harder. Now, can they do more? I imagine they could.
The thing with the pit
Yeah.
is, like you said earlier, you know, the sound and that.
Well, then
That's
there's
the
that.
basic thing. I don't see why they couldn't build a whole new building, but keeping not keeping this structure, but duplicating it. Build a whole new thing, but keep the stadium part where the people are.
On
Well,
that
they-
same site? So basically gut it and redo it is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raise it down to the
I
ground
mean, imagine
and
they
start
could.
over.
I mean, if you've got the $1 billion that it's going to take or whatever it is. But I imagine that could be done.
But if that's the important part, the sound of the pit.
Well, there's a number of
acoustics.
important parts. So there's a number of important parts, Bob. So it's
Yeah.
the sound, it's the modernization of the building, and so let's take that. If you're going to build it 37 feet into the ground, I'm going to guess, JJ, you're going to have to build 37 feet hole outside of it, because turning that facility. All right, I just want you to think of any facility that you think of. You think of those big garage doors, right? That you can
Yeah.
roll trucks up to, and you can bring in the sound system or the turf or the dirt for the bull riding or whatever. Everything that comes here has to go up and down that damn pit, up and down that ramp,
That little ramp.
and that. So Ken, and we get that, or that's Bourne. No, whose was that? That was Ken. I understand your thing on this. Why can't we do? Logistically, you can't do what a modern arena can do. Now, can you do more than you're doing? Probably. But you can't turn it from a Billy Joel concert on Friday night to a Lobo game the next night. I don't even think logistically you could get that done there where they can there. Where, hell, in LA, they're flipping it from hockey to basketball afternoon to night. Okay? So, I don't know. There's so many little things. And I'm down with you. Bourne says, Jeff, I think the assumption on the fairgrounds is a $150 million facility is going to clean up the arena. My concern is there is a one-lane art downside central. Yeah, that's fair. Look, maybe the fairgrounds isn't it. I haven't heard a better answer yet. I mean, West Side, downtown, it's the best one I got. And if it's not good, then it's not good. I've watched arenas, stadiums those sorts of projects clean up areas in a whole lot of cities. There's documentation. Now, it doesn't always work. It's not 100%. And plenty of people say, yeah, we'd be the outlier. But, I mean, I'm listening. You got a better one? Hit me. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
The Clipper season now is over again.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of
PGA Championship. Just early first round. Not everybody's out yet. He's -3, playing his 9th hole. He played the backside first, so he's on number 18, a hole called Coming Home. Callum Tarrant. Don't know who he is either. He's 2 under after 3. And then there's a group of guys at -1, includes Justin Thomas and Colin Morikawa and Harold Varner and Zach Johnson. Some of the bigger names, Scotty Scheffler, even par. He's played 4 holes. Rory McIlroy, even after 4. Jordan Spieth, even after 4. And where did I see Jason Day, even after 1. And what happened to Brooksy? He's +1 after 4. All right, so I'll keep you going. They're going in Rochester. Was a frost delay there this morning, and so they're out and going. All right, let me get you some more of your correspondence on doesn't Pepsi Center, which is now Ball Arena, Staples Center, which is now Crypto.com Arena, and other arenas, including the Seattle-built, owned Kraken facility, T-Mobile, operate different type events, back-to-back, day after day. It'd be obvious that one arena could do both, not requiring 2. Even Isotopes and United Games work back-to-back. Yeah, they do. No, absolutely they do. And again, the modern arenas are built to that. JJ, I don't know how you would, in the pit, like honestly, if you needed to once, I imagine you could, and we could bring in Brandon or Matt or the guys who run facilities out there. But you see, it takes a week to load up for the.
Well, part of it is just the structure.
Yeah, that's
it
what
has
I'm
nothing
saying. The infrastructure, 100%.
It has nothing to do with they wouldn't want to do it. There's just certain events they can't have in there because things don't fit or they can't hang certain things, and there you go.
It's not, you can't just roll up a truck, ground level, open those garage doors, and set it up. Everything's got to come down, and that ramp can't be more. How wide is this room? Would you say it's?
This room might be wider than the ramp.
I think this room is wider than the ramp. I mean, would you say the ramp is about 12 feet wide, 14 feet wide? Right, lay yourself down twice. You're 6 feet tall-ish. I mean,
do it next time. People are like, where's this gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, it's about 12, 14 feet wide, right?
Yeah.
And pushing stuff up that ramp. It's just literally, logistically, I don't know that you can do it on a regular basis like that. This one says the state and city's too blue. There are so many factors that keep this place from advancing. An arena and a pro team would be nice. It won't happen in my lifetime. Lobos howl, they do not woof. It's
what kind
gone.
of structures? Because I remember it's been a minute, but they had like an MMA event there a while ago.
Okay.
It wasn't UFC, and it was one of the local promoters.
They brought the
coming
cage
through.
and they brought everything in.
But I'm trying to think, like, how did they do the lights then? Because
I
that's
think they
always
brought in their own standards. They brought their own. Everything's got to come down and come. It's got to come down the ramp in pieces, and then set up down there, and then
like you could
broken
do it, you
down
just
and then
gotta
push back up the ramp. And literally, I
want
don't
to do it.
Yeah, but I don't know that you could logistically in a day. Like, could you have done basketball the next day?
Crew working overnight, maybe. But
I imagine. But again, it's not like just wheeling it out the side. I mean, literally getting it up that ramp, down the ramp. And there's only so much you could do. There are limitations. So, all right. We talked earlier about what input should, if any, your star have in regards to conversations for a new head coach. You got Milwaukee and Philadelphia and Toronto. And who else am I looking at? Who else is looking for a new head coach? I got a full rebuild. There's 5. Detroit, Toronto, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Philadelphia, correct?
Yes.
All right. What's the best job, by the way? Is it Phoenix, Durant and Booker, and you can go out and get free agents? Is it Philly, where I got Embiid? Is it Milwaukee, where I got Giannis and Middleton, and I just had the best record in the league? It's one of those 3. I mean,
Milwaukee, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Toronto.
Okay. And obviously the worst one's Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Detroit's last. So you had a conversation earlier about how much input should your star have? Should you talk to Giannis? And the danger being, okay, we talked to him and we have his input, but we're going a different way. And do I isolate him? Well, you isolate him if you don't have a conversation at all. Text line says Houston Texans asked Deshaun Watson's input. They went a different way, and he was pissed. This was before all the weirdo message therapist stuff. I think that's right. But again,
I think there's a huge difference in basketball versus any other sport when we're talking about roster construction. There's too many moving pieces in football.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, there's too many dudes.
Like, if you want to talk to your quarterback about offensive stuff, yes. But I'm not worried. Like, Devontae Adams getting upset about the direction because Jimmy Garoppolo instead of Derek Carr, that's a friendship thing. That's not necessarily right now a true football thing.
Deal with it. Yeah.
I think in basketball, just because of the size of the roster, the impact of one person, like, you should have open discussions with your best player.
Terry says JJ's right. Players need to suck it up and accept management's choice of coaches. Signed Magic Johnson. It's tricky.
It ain't always
right?
going to be easy.
Yeah, no, it's tricky because I mean, in like I said, if any of this is, if you've ever run a business and you've ever, right, we all take different trains of thought. We all want diversity in opinion, right? But ultimately, whoever it is, and if you're the decision maker, you got to make a decision. And so you've taken in all these various opinions, different thoughts, and you're going a certain way, which means you're not going everyone's way. You might not even go the way of the majority. And then you got people, well, why'd you even ask me, man? Why do you ask me if you're not going to value my opinion? No, I value your opinion. But it was an opinion. Ultimately, I've got to make the choice. I appreciate your point of view, and you're making me think a certain way, but you don't have. That's the other thing. The employee, and we all got to remember this wherever we are, we don't have the full perspective. So even if Daryl Morey, the general manager of the Sixers, goes to Joel Embiid and says, what do you think? Joel Embiid does not have the full perspective. You can't. You don't know everything the bosses know. You just don't, right? We don't. They make moves, and we're like, what the hell are they doing? Well, we don't know. We're not beyond those closed doors. All right, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the Lakers and Nuggets. And there's a player who plays on the Nuggets who's played with both Jokic and LeBron James. He said the only difference between Jokic and LeBron is, I'll tell you what it was, next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The summer concert season is just getting started.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
In Denver, it used to be called the Pepsi Center. Now it's called the Ball Arena. Ball Arena. What Ball is? Do you know what that is? The company?
A can.
They do aluminum cans. They did the mason jars. All the mason jars used to be Ball. Now they're Ball Aerospace and National Defense. Audra works for Ball. Do you know that? Yeah, she's a Ball employee. So they have an arena up there, and it's gonna be busy tonight. Nuggets game 2. Western Conference Finals against the Lakers. Nuggets are up game 1. Nikola Jokic was tremendous in game 1. He had a 34-point, 21 rebound, 14 assist triple-double. That's about as good a line as you can get. Like, if you're going to say, all right, there's good and then there's just sensational, wouldn't it 34, 21, 14 be like kind of that?
Yes.
Like just sensational. 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists. He's bonkers. One of the guys on the Nuggets who I think you need to play well for them to win the series is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And KCP played for the Lakers the past few years. He's played with LeBron. And so I guess he was asked, right? Somebody asked him this. He didn't just offer this. Somebody asked him the similarities between, or the difference between Nikola Jokic and LeBron James. And he said, quote, "I feel like the only difference is that Bron can jump higher than Jokic," end quote. And so Nikola Jokic was asked that, and he thought about it, and he says, "That is offensive." And he says, "I'm joking." He says, "Just to be compared to one of the greatest players ever is flattering." And he went on. Do you think that's right? The only difference between Jokic and LeBron is Jokic can jump higher. Obviously, LeBron's a better ball handler. He's better in transition. But in the half-court offense, man, Nikola Jokic can do basically anything you need him to do.
It's not a bad comparison when we're talking about basketball IQ and how they manipulate a defense, how they understand where to put the basketball, how to get their teammates involved, how to set them up for success.
It's Jokic, and I think the country, even though they know that he's a 2-time MVP, I think the country, many people are just now starting to see Nikola Jokic.
So LeBron James, a lot more career playoff games. We're talking 279 career playoff games for LeBron James, and a total of 60 for Jokic. But each player in their playoff career averages 7.1 assists per game.
Okay, how many playoff games has Jokic played?
60.
That's a fair sample. I mean, it's half as. What did you tell me? Is a third as many, right?
279
not
for
even
LeBron.
A third. Yeah, not even a third. Like a quarter.
A lot more for LeBron James.
Well, all right. Other hoop stuff. James Harden is going to opt out of his deal with Philly. He's threatening going back to. He's not going back to Houston. Like if there's one place in the league nobody's going back to, it's Houston. You think I'm wrong?
No.
We had a conversation yesterday. Every team in the West is building. Every team is getting better. Every team is, except for Houston, right?
Yes.
Now, if they'd have gotten the first pick and got Victor Wembanyama, maybe we have a conversation, right? 76ers future, according to Daryl Morey, their general manager, quote, I think ultimately James came up big in a lot of games. No loss or win as any one player. And both Joel and James had big games during the playoffs. All right. Great. Whatever that means. Chris Haynes is reporting from Bleacher Report that Harden's going to seek a new long-term deal and that he'll only entertain suitors who present a competitive roster and a basketball freedom to be himself. Who is he?
Easier said than done.
Well, who is he at this point in his career? Like, he's not a number one, and I'm not even certain he's a solid number two anymore.
He's a solid number two. He won 2 of those games.
He did win 2 of those games, and where was he in the rest of them?
But that is absolutely a solid number 2.
Okay, a solid number 2 is Jaylen Brown to me, who shows up every freaking night, who is LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who is Jamal.
That's number 1.
So they both have number 1. They have 2 number 1s. Denver has 2 number 1s. What's Jamal Murray?
Number 2.
He's so much better right now than James Harden is. He is so much better every night. You don't think so?
Yeah. Well, James, adjust your bar. This is who James Harden is right now.
That's
The
my
dude
point.
won
What is he
2
now?
games.
Yeah.
One of those games, Joel Embiid wasn't playing.
Right, Lonnie freaking Walker won a game. I mean, so
not like that.
Kind of like that. No, you're right. 42 is a lot. And
Like,
different in
and
hitting
so
those
the
shots. You're right. You're right.
What and this is where it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Is James Harden is playing to who he is right now, not who you thought James Harden was 5 years ago. And this is actually should be the best spot for him right now. Is you have Joel Embiid. He is your 1A. You can play off him. Joel Embiid and James Harden had a disastrous Game 7.
So, to adjust your bar, what it is right now, do you as a franchise have to adjust to that? Doesn't he have to adjust to it as well?
He did. Look at the way he played all season long.
I think he did all season long. So moving forward, then who is he? Like okay, tell me the situation that works for you and for him.
Yeah. And that's why I think if you're the 76ers, you would be okay with a 2-3 year deal with James Harden,
So you're
bring the number
re-upping him
down a little
long-term.
bit,
Yeah.
as opposed to him opting in for 1 year at $36 million because of the expectations. Like, we're all going to be looking at that Game 7, and it's the point
Well,
to
you're gonna look at his
when we talk
playoff
about
life, too.
Anthony Davis. And you asked yesterday, like, who is Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Who should we believe
Yeah.
the real Anthony Davis is? And well, the real James Harden is less than he was a few years ago, but still effective in this role, which is the Robin to the Batman of Joel Embiid.
Okay. So where does he fit? Philly? You still think that's the spot for him? Is there another spot?
Now, if the whole wants the freedom to be the dude, that's not going to be on a team that's contending to win a conference.
You can go to Detroit.
Yeah. You can go back to Houston if that's
Go to Houston if that's your deal. Right. I don't know where he fits. And you start looking at, and he's been so many places now, and with so many stars, with so many deals. Does he go? I mean, is it Phoenix? I don't think it's Phoenix. I don't think you reunite him with Kevin Durant. Is it LA? They need a shooter. I mean,
Phoenix, if they could sign up for that, they do it in a heartbeat. They could swap out Chris Paul for James Harden.
Chris Paul's got but they can't. They can't get out from underneath what they're paying him. Nobody's going to take that contract. Nobody's going to pay him what that ridiculous number. We said it the day that he signed. They're going to hate the back end of that deal. But they thought they were going to get another run. They were coming off their championship appearance. They thought they were going to get another championship run out of him, and they're not. Don't you also have to look at James Harden postseason guy and just say, okay, I mean, yeah, he won those 2 games, but what's his overall? Where's the best he's ever been? Conference Finals? Has he ever been to the Conference Finals? Did they ever? Did a James Harden team ever get to a conference final? Because he's been on some good damn teams, dude.
Well, he's been in the NBA Finals with the Thunder.
I guess that's right. Yeah, I mean, I forget.
You want
totally
one of the biggest
I totally
what ifs
forgot-
in
I
NBA
totally
history?
forgot. Yeah. If they just stayed together?
When we thought we were going to see Thunder Heat at least 2 or 3 times in the NBA Finals.
That's why. I mean, that's why you sit here and say, how many times? When are we going to see them again? We're going to. Maybe never. Maybe never. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's where you're coming in this morning. We got Lakers and Nuggets tonight. We had the Heat beating the Celtics yesterday in Boston, game 1. PGA's underway. PGA Championship. Should be a fun. Just look at the golf course. It looks tough. Kazuki Higa and Callum Tarrant are your two leaders at -3. Higa after 9 holes and Tarrant after 4. Colin Morikawa's got up to -2 after 5 holes. That's the top of your leaderboard as we sit here right now. Who you got there?
2014, 2015, the Houston Rockets were in the Western Conference Finals.
When was it? 14, 15? God, it seems like forever.
It does. It's almost 10 years ago.
It feels like forever ago. Dan, good morning. How you doing? You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, fellas, listen, I'm glad you brought up James Harden. I happened to catch, never mind Game 6. Game 7, I was out. I turned on the Celtic game on, Celtics and 76ers. They were down 89-85 with 2:47 to go. I was like, oh, great, man. I caught the last 2 minutes of this game. Should be a great game. James Harden looked like a guy. I don't know if he was on, what's his name, Aaron Rodgers stuff, but this guy looked completely lost. He's on the floor. They give him the ball. He comes down the floor. He crashes into his own teammate, throws the ball away. The guy didn't even look like – he looked like he came off the bench. He was like the 5th player, the 9th player on the bench to come off because he looked lost. And then you look at Game 7, the guy never showed up. He never showed up. The 4th quarter is when you show up. These guys do not show up. James Harden, to me, is a bust. He's no different than that other clown that left Brooklyn, that Kyrie Irving. You know, and I look at him, Durant, and Kyrie Irving. To me, those 3 players, they want to wear every NBA jersey in the league. They want to go from team to team to team, and they stink. They haven't won anything. They haven't proven anything, and it's the best thing. They got rid of Doc Rivers, Philadelphia. Get rid of Harden. Trade him, whatever you got to do, get money and get somebody else in there. The other thing, who puts Tatum, Joel Embiid, on Tatum? Tatum ran around him like he was a statue in Game 7. They were trying to put this guy, a center, to guard a guard. It was ridiculous. Tatum had him all game long. I don't know why they didn't change that defense or anything else. Embiid looked like he had two stone legs on him. He couldn't cover this kid.
And he should
so
have done
anyway,
that. Yeah.
I think Harden they need to get rid of him, and I'm glad you brought him up because the guy is not. He's another Palooka.
Thank
We'll
you,
give him
Dan.
the Palooka badge, fellas.
That's a good
Thanks
one.
a lot, man.
See you, Dan. Put Palooka on the board, by the way. He's my new favorite caller. You know that short sleeve hoodie you wear with every team's logo on it? It's kind of what I thought of when he was saying that. You know, he wants everybody's logo. So he's off of Harden. You're not, and obviously you disagree.
Well, because the question is, what's best for James Harden, and it's the Robin role, and that's where he's at right now. And when you're looking at teams in contention, Milwaukee's not going to want to bring that in right now. Phoenix, I think, would actually entertain it if they could get out of Chris Paul.
But they can't.
They can't.
They can't.
And that Game 7 was bad on everyone, because and that's one that you're going to have to wear, and people like Dan are going to point that out forever, which is what happens in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, that's
because
because
they disappeared in that second half.
That's where legacies are made. It's in the playoffs. What did you do when it mattered? That's where legacies are made. I mean, look, I think when we just watch the number 1 seed, the best record in the NBA, fire their coach, we realize the regular season doesn't mean a damn thing, dude. Yeah, you were the best team in the regular season, but you went out in the first round of the playoffs. We don't care about what you did in the regular season. What happened in the playoffs? That's where your money is made. Yeah. That's what we're paying you to do. That's what, and that's what he's saying. He's a Palooka, right? Is that what he said? Palooka. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the definition is. I'll look it up. But to your point, what Dan's saying is he even Robin anymore? Is he still a Robin? Yes. Okay. And he might be in the right situation. Who's Batman? I mean, he was just with the MVP Batman. He was the best damn Batman in the league. And they went to the second round. Now, do you continue on that process? Do you believe Joel Embiid? We're making progress? We're just going to bring him and stay with that?
I think on Philadelphia, it's also been there, done that. And that's why you'd move on from a Doc Rivers. That's why you'd potentially move on from a James Harden, because that's a team it's time to make a shakeup. I still don't know what Milwaukee is doing, like what they needed to shake up. Yeah, they had a bad moment, but that team wasn't broken.
They could add a piece or two also, but it's going to depend on who their coach is. All right, I'm going to get you the leaderboard at the PGA Championship. Who's making a move? I'll let you know that. Get you everything you need to know as you go on with your day, and there's still some correspondence telling me how much of an idiot I am, so I'll get you that as well as we wrap up the opening drive next on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal.
We would would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling, and we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan.
Hole for Kazuki Higa from Japan. He leads the PGA Championship along with Callum Tarrant. Both -3, but look who's making a charge. Colin Morikawa is -2. Keegan Bradley at -2, along with Ryan Fox. And a bunch of guys at -1, including John Rahm, Justin Thomas, and Scotty Scheffler. Even par today, and we're early. Scott Stallings, Brooks Koepka even after 6. Rory McIlroy even after 5. And Jason Day even after 3. And guys who might be in a little bit trouble early, Bryson DeChambeau is +1 after 3. Anybody you care about at +2? Gary Woodland +2, if that matters to you. Maybe you had him in your little pool. Jordan Spieth even through 4. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Gato Roberto. Are you in tomorrow? You on this show tomorrow or what?
Yes, sir.
All right, good to have you. So you get to hoe? You get a Bobcat hoe?
I will give it a shot.
Well, I mean, I got somebody, Gopher sent me an email, and it says, the Bobcat hoe. Jeff, tell all your friends and family Friday's OD is a must-listen because we get a Bobcat hoe. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I do try. You get that hoe going a lot longer than I can.
Give the people what they want. So,
okay.
All right, let me get you the rest of it. We had a lot of conversation on Arena today, and obviously it's all for me and it's self-centered because this says the obvious self-centered aspect of this narrow-minded arena talk of you, Jeff, is that the fairgrounds is an operation, the moving of which you just seemed to disregard. Why doesn't everyone just come together to replace the pit, demolish it, and build a new arena in the same location? Mile High Stadium did it. Jack Kent Cooke owned the Redskins. He tried to do it at RFK Stadium only to have the District of Columbia Council turn that down. He was hoping to retain RFK only to be torn down for the Washington Nationals parking. Just demolish and rebuild the pit in modern form, during which effort send the Lobos on the road for 2 years. Oh, the NFL's Jags. Okay. First of all, I didn't disregard the moving of the fairgrounds. There's actually been conversation at way higher levels than I about moving the fairgrounds, modernizing that as well. There's land out west and taking the fair to the west side of Albuquerque. So I've not disregarded that. I think what's somewhat disregarded is just put the Lobos on the road for 2 years. They'll be fine. And where are you getting all the money to completely redo the pit? I'm just asking. Did I disregard? Is it all self-serving for me? What do I get out of this?
I cannot wait.
What?
To be at the ribbon cutting of the Jeff
my
Vieta
arena.
arena.
I know. What do I get out of it? Terry says opportunity lost when St. Pius moved to the west side and Winrock was floundering. Had great potential. Didn't take advantage of that. Yeah, there was great land there then. And then this one says Jokic. We had the conversation on Jokic and LeBron says Jokic is better at three-pointers. I think right now he certainly is. I heard so much conversation yesterday, JJ, on LeBron taking that three. And I guess I was surprised at how many, and I understand basketball-wise the situation. So if you recall, there was about 46 seconds to go. Lakers were down by 3, and they had switched, and Jamal Murray was guarding LeBron. And so the concept is the better basketball move would have been for LeBron to back down Murray, probably score easily, maybe get fouled, if not score. And Denver's got the ball with 40-ish seconds to go down by 1, and certainly it's pucker time for them. They would have had to do something. I absolutely understand that. And I'm not telling you basketball-wise that wouldn't have been the right decision. I guess why it didn't bother me as much is because it's that guy, and how many shots like that has that guy hit in his career? He just told me he played 290 playoff games, and he's won the majority of them. And that guy steps into a wide-open 3 to tie a game. I mean, if he hits it, they probably win that game, right? Or maybe. It's tied. Let's see what Denver does. Players make plays, players miss shots. But I was surprised how much in the minority I was listening to Talking Heads yesterday on that one. And I'll still hold to where I am. I still have no problem with that shot.
Yeah, my initial thought was, all right, LeBron taking a 3, late game situation. I got it. But then do take a step back. I think there's too much time for him to settle at that moment with the momentum that they had, the aggressiveness. He had already hit some free throws. So it's not the whole classic LeBron scared to make 3 free throws late in the game type of deal. He was just, I think part of it too is late in the game. Your legs might be going just a little bit, and you're like, I just want to make this play now. And he pulls up for the jumper.
What if he'd have dished it to Austin Reeves to take a 3?
And that's also the no-win situation for LeBron.
100%. See?
Because he passes it, Austin Reeves misses the 3.
Why isn't he taking a shot? He's the guy.
The LeBron James is scared to make a play narrative, which would 100% be there. And that's the thing. It's a no-win situation for a superstar late in games. I still think if you're down to those two choices with 40 seconds left, drive it as opposed to the 3. But it's not Jordan Poole level bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because it's that guy. It just doesn't bother me. And I'm not a LeBron guy, but I thought it was going. I think you probably thought it was going when it left his hand. Didn't you think it was going to make it?
I did.
I did too. And he makes that shot. We don't have this conversation at all. Period.
But he missed it, so there's a conversation.
No, I get it.
It's the who do you want shooting it and when? And I do think
I don't want LeBron James.
Well, with 40 seconds left, I think that's too much time in a one possession game just to jack up a quick 3.
Fair enough. All right, this says, remember the scene in the movie Pulp Fiction where Vincent Vega calls Butch Palooka? He says, I'm not your friend, Palooka. He says it because Butcher's there to take money for throwing his boxing match for Marcellus Wallace. You looked up Palooka, right?
Yes.
All right, what does it mean?
Yeah.
It's like a boxer. It's
it's a prize fighter.
Who's not very good.
Yeah, average at best.
Yeah, tomato can boxer.
Yeah.
That was good.
Right? Kind of a tomato can boxer guy that just a journeyman boxer who gets his ass kicked all the time. A palooka. He's a palooka. It's my new favorite caller, for crying out loud. All right, who you got tonight? Nuggets, Lakers. If I would tell you it's a kind of got to win game for who, it's really easy to say the team down 1-0, but I almost feel like it's a kind of got to win game for the Nuggets. Who you got tonight?
The Lakers.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go Lakers. Bob, who's going to win tonight? Lakers or Chicken Nuggets?
I'll go Nuggets.
I'm going Nuggets too. I'm going to buy into your Nuggets, JJ. I'm going to buy into Michael Malone figuring out how to play chess with Darvin Ham. I'm going to buy into Michael Malone figuring out how to get Jamal Murray off of LeBron. That's what I got. Thanks to Bobcat for being here today. Thank you very much for getting up early.
Oh, you're welcome. Look forward to it tomorrow.
Adrian looks great on the visual side. You should check out our simulcast. It's very, very good. ProView Networks' YouTube page or our Facebook page, OD in the AM. Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Then you get Isotopes and Tacoma. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices